It's your boy, the one, Joey V.
This is Boss Dog Cigars.
This is Quentin Moore chilling in the Cigar Lounge. Have a drink with your boys and tune in. Yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to Cigar Lounge and Podcast. I'm your host, the local hero. Here's my co-host.
It's Kim, bro. You know what it is.
Yeah, fuck that guy. So
You just jealous, man. You just jealous.
Kimber, what is it that you are partaking in today, sir?
I am smoking something that I need in real life in my finances. The H. Upman, the banker.
Oh.
And I need a banker. If anybody know a good banker, just let me know.
I got the pandemonium.
I'm broke, but I still need a banker.
You need a banker, but you're broke. I love it.
So here with our guest right here. One of the best fucking homegirls you can have. She cheerleads you, even when you're doing dumb stuff like, triple threat challenges.
Yeah.
Which she said she might do.
I don't know what I was thinking that day because now they don't let me make it. It's like those. It's funny how everybody said they're gonna come out of retirement. That ain't no retirement.
Yeah, we're gonna hold you to that. But anyway, from Shine Bright, this right here is Ms. Brooks.
No doubt. Good to be here finally.
Soundboard. We gotta get a soundboard so we can hit the clapping and shit.
I mean, if you need it, I can go get my iPad right now.
Yeah. Bring all the bells and whistles out.
Matter of fact, it's actually right here. My bad.
We gonna keep this in the show. We're just gonna rewind it back so y'all can see. You know what I'm saying? This is the genius of fucking YouTube.
All right, there we go. Hopefully it's charged. I don't know what that is.
We'll see. We'll find out in a second.
We're gonna find out.
If not, I got a charger right here.
That's the thing,
See y'all rushing me and stuff. Not quite prepared right now,
I mean, it happens.
But yeah. So about those Bears.
Yeah, fuck those Bears. Anyway, so
Go Cowboys.
talk about something. Yeah, fuck them too. Let's talk about before. Dak Prescott only good to like week 12.
I was born into this and then I chose it. I know what's up.
Yeah, the bottom falls out that bullshit.
They consistent. I know that much.
Yeah.
It is as consistent as Cole Brown's pacer.
We just need to get it together. It's to me, this is how I feel as somebody again born into it. When they used to wake me up in the 90s when they were winning, wake you up, make you go around and shut, literally born into this. And legacy, because I teach my team about that, like being a champion. Some people never won anything, so they don't know nothing about it anyway. And then when you're expected to win again, back-to-back champions, and then you're always expected to win no matter what you got, whether if your team trash, whether they doing well, you still expected to win. And that's a good one. I need to write that down because they were asking me the other day, how do you win? I was like, you got to want to win, first of all.
That's true.
Some people don't move like they want to move, like they want to win. They just moving.
Kimrose, you charged up yet?
All right. You can reintroduce her again.
Okay. Everybody from Shine Bright, Paparazzi, we got Ms. Brooks in the house.
Yes. Yeah. Your favorite jury lady is here.
All right, we had our little pre-conversation. All right, so let's get into it. So let us know about you.
Okay. All right. Well, I hail from Houston, Texas, by way of Jasper. A lot of people may not know that. By way of Jasper, which is 2 hours north of Houston. Been here since I graduated. I like to tell people the backstory because I wasn't always a jewelry lady, and I wasn't always, and I think the number one question, a lot of people, when I'm on other lives, they don't understand why so many cigar people come on there. And a lot of people don't understand when I'm hanging out with the cigar people, why so many jewelry people on there. So it's good to kind of explain how it got that way. But for me, I've had a great career, but I finally found something that I can use everything that I know. So I'm a I'm a certified community health worker, so I'm all about community and bringing folks together. I'm degreed in psychology, and my master's is in human sciences with a concentration on marriage and family therapy. So that's what I used to do, but it never stopped. So kind of like in the community here, kind of like how Hobo says that I kind of give us a standard to go by. It's not really a standard. I just kind of take what I'm taking in from everybody else to kind of see what people like, what people don't like, what people attracted to, what people flock to. So paparazzi, I've been doing this since 9/11 of 2018. And it literally just changed my whole career. I have a stack of termination papers where they never wanted me to work there, because one thing about me, I go to the top the way you're supposed to go to the top. If it requires to do things that ain't for the people, I'm not gonna do it. And that leaves you with a bunch of, like I said, I've been fired so many times I can't even keep up anymore. But one thing now, I know the only thing that can keep me from being 219632 is me. That's my independent consultant number. And same thing with 8078, my certification. Those are things that I worked for, earned. And what I like about what I do, I can connect with so many people for different things. You know, it doesn't matter. And that's what I like about the cigar community, because you can bring one simple stick and it brings a whole bunch of people together across the water, across the country, all over the world. And that's what I've mastered. You know, I put my desk facing my education wall for a reason, just to remind me where I got to where I am. But all it did was help me learn how people operate, how the world works. And now it's just all about reaching people, because everybody knows this is a necklace. Everybody knows these are earrings. I don't have to explain that. Now it's more of like, now that you know who I am and you connected with me, now how can we do what we do, whatever that is? Because I can make stuff happen with people, because I've also been blessed with gifts to see things in people. See, somebody saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, which is where I am now. So I'm just like, bring it. You ain't gotta. You may not know how to do this, and you may not know how to do that, but everybody got something. Everybody got something they bring in, and that's why, as I said. How did I get here? That's always the question. I'm asked that so many times. Even the lady that I vended at All in One Cigars. So I know Baron Murphy, who that's my social bro. Like, he was at my birthday party. He was passed out upstairs on my bathroom floor. That type of closeness. And I remember when Instagram Lives was just like a few in the morning. That's it. Like, that's all you saw when it came to the cigar community. And then when Select, Draw, and Mark, I literally behind the scenes watching it grow from just a few lives in the morning to now it's you can't even get off the internet without seeing somebody live talking about something. And what I like about it, he invited me to a vendor event. Didn't know that Memorial Day 2021 would lead to, here we are over 2 years later, and that opened doors to this community and those people that know them. And it was a great vendor. Like, the owner, it's like a guy and a girl couple. And what I liked about her at the end of that event, she put on everybody's stuff. Like, she put my jewelry on, she put the fedora she bought, she put the shades she bought. Like, it was straight support. And that's what I talk about to other people that don't really understand. I said, I can come on a cigar lounge or a cigar podcast or anything like that. Well, you pick one, and they're going to have their own brand or have their own thing that they representing, but they also support somebody else. You don't see that all the time. Some people can only talk about what they do and what they represent, but you don't see all the, hey, make sure you do this, make sure you follow. Like, one of the first times I was on MJ Live, he pinned my website right there in the comments. So even if I'm not here or not, you're still going to know who Shine Bright Gems is. So that's how I got here, and that's why I continue to stay here, is because it's genuine support. Because you don't have to do anything. No one has to do anything for you. So if you're choosing to smoke that cigar or buy that bracelet, I put my bracelet on. This is the domestic violence bracelet. So if you're choosing to, it's your choice, and I respect that. I just told people on my show earlier, you could buy jewelry anywhere, but you're listening to me, but you're buying my product. So that's that's something, and I'm all about, and I love how we say the word community. That's the big thing. What are you doing to cultivate the community? Because I feel like some people do it for the likes, do it for the follows, do it for the clout or whatever. But are you doing it? That's why I told somebody that was just interested in joining my team. I said, but make sure you're doing it for the reasons you want to do it, because you're going to see a lot of people doing what I do. You're going to see a lot of people. I'm sure I'm not the only paparazzi consultant that y'all know, but I'm the only Kimberly Elise Brooks you'll find. Best believe that. So that's my mini bio, how I got here, why I'm still here, and why I'm going to be here.
Yeah, you spoke of community a couple times. What most people don't know about LH, back in the day, around the high school era, he was all about community. He worked in the community. He worked in the community, and he made sure that the community was safe.
Local hero. Okay, yes, it makes sense to me.
That's because I was sentenced to community service. But look, we're not getting into that. So let's go beyond that. So first of all, thank you for my birthday present.
For sure.
I appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do know every once in a while, you do have your cigar.
Yes, it's more of like backing it up. First, when I'm the jury lady, I'm set up because I'll set up anywhere. I'm doing my first college on Tuesday, and it's still an experience regardless of what a person is there to do. And because I never knew, even one of my vendor event, that I would meet her lounge. I would never, never thought that, but Ray True, I never thought that this somebody I would see live every whatever day he go live, and I'm right here in the restaurant with him vending. I'm vending jewelry, he set up with his cigars, and I just think that that's what a lot of people miss on how we connected. And sometimes that's why I like these when they go live and they're talking. You're learning more about the backstory, not just picking up a cigar. And when I was in the DR, my brother was buying cigars for his clients, as gifts. He wasn't really caring what it was or what it wasn't. He just wanted to give, a fine cigar as a gift. Me, these are people that I actually talk to. I actually know. I'm not saying he don't have that relationship with his clients, but these are cigar smokers. I want to make sure it's something that they like. And it only made sense if I'm in the DR, why not get an actual DR cigar? And me, I just like to be a part of the culture. Ironically, something I was thinking about when I was getting dressed, my former business mentor had her birthday party at a cigar lounge. I remember going to the south side of Houston, and I was like, of all the places, a cigar lounge. And this was right when I was starting to get back on Instagram and starting to get back in the community. And I said, why this place? But the culture, you had same type of thing. You had people selling fedoras. I bought a fedora that night. You had people anywhere that people are supporting one another. You could sign me up, because like right now, I'm going to have a party here Saturday. I'm already making sure everybody brings their products, bring their services, bring whatever it is you got, because that's the only way you're going to grow. And I wanted to not just be the jewelry lady in the corner selling jewelry. I wanted to know what they were talking about. I wanted to know, like the lady came in the humidor. She said, I didn't know you didn't smoke. I said, it's not about, I'm not the one that's going to know everything about it, but I sit here and I listen. I'm an educated woman. So if I sit here and listen to people that know what they're talking about, I have no choice but to learn what they're talking about. I've learned quite a bit just sitting back on these lives and paying attention to people's stories and feeds. I'm doing the same thing other people do when they're watching from a distance, but I'm doing it for a different reason. I don't want to just be the jewelry lady posted up at the cigar lounge. I want to understand what they're picking. And most of the people, one thing I will say about customer service, when I go into a cigar lounge, they're going to tell you from the beginning of what you're looking at, what you're picking. They're going to tell you about the cut. Like hanging out with Cigar Love Affair, that was like you get to see what you see online in person. Like this person really enjoys this. This person really knows her stuff. She really is enjoying this experience. So same way with me and my jewelry, it's a whole different experience when you actually be around it and hear somebody talking about it. So mine is, I like the culture. Have I found one? I haven't really had to me, it's an experience. I haven't had a bad smoking experience, put it like that. It's nothing that I just want to continue to do, but I haven't had a bad experience. Most of the things that someone took about what I like flavors, they pick one and they say, oh no, you probably don't want that one. They made a good suggestion, and it was okay. So I do it for the culture. I do it for the culture and the community and the experience.
So back to the part when you was talking about people to bring in a product and stuff, and and selling and stuff. What if they got that product though? Is that welcome?
That product?
Yeah.
Like what product you talk about? If they got what product? What product is this?
I'm talking about like street pharmacists.
Street pharmacists. Kimbro, go Kimbro. Here he goes.
Goodbye, YouTube. That's definitely gonna be a Rumble episode. So when it comes to networking, right? And I see you network with different people, and the way you move is like effortless and flawless. You're very charismatic.
The lady.
But when it comes to like networking, like who do you? I know you choose to engage with people, but how do you choose to engage? Like, I want to network with this person. Fuck that person. This person, like, how do you?
Ooh. All right, we're gonna do this
like a loaded question there, right?
Yeah, it is.
No, I wouldn't say no name. I'm just saying, how do you?
No, and I don't mind saying names because I'm in a season of my life where I'm not gonna move unless you know how I'm moving. And it's funny you said that word "move," and I was actually on a what would we call it, a spiritual reading channel today. Just because I'm on TikTok right now, just kind of moving around to see, because I scope things out before I just dive in. And she talked about that. I was literally in a moment where I was trying to figure out what I physically wanted to do next, what I mentally wanted to do next. And that's kind of the question. And RS said, listen to how she talks. She moved different. And I guess he was just comparing that to other, not even just cigar. Again, you could say cigar community, but we're talking about how people move, because the way you do anything is the way you do everything. That's what they teach us in paparazzi. The way you moving is the way you moving. And how do you choose? Because I'm in a period right now where I have over 100 team members. I'm just gonna pick my team right now. And I'm picking it apart I feel like after over 5 years, I literally just told my customers, if you're coming here to do this, that's not what we're doing anymore. If you're coming to do that, we're not doing that anymore. I have proven for 5 years I know how to sell jewelry. I got that part. But we're trying to decide who's gonna, because there's 3 things I'm here to do: build relationships, confidence, and financial freedom. And there's a lot of things that a person can approach you. Someone just talked about this, an artist. Just because someone presents you with an opportunity, that doesn't mean, just like a proposal, you don't have to say yes to everybody that asks you to marry them. You don't. I wrote a whole paper about that. And it's a choice. So I feel like I'm an attractive person. People are going to be drawn to me. I got that part, but I have to have discernment and judgment. Be like, is this somebody going to take me to the next level? Because now I'm stuck with a lot of people ain't moving.
Let me stop you real quick. Hold on. Say that again. If somebody proposes to you, you don't have to marry. You choose
unless they got money.
So we gonna clip that out. Jada, if you're listening, you ain't have to marry Will. Stop doing it. You stop doing it.
That lady is getting drugged through the internet.
Stop it. All right, Tupac wouldn't fuck with you. Y'all got the same barber. Anyway, so back to what you're saying.
But wait a minute. While we here right now, I find it funny.
Wait, hold on.
Everybody. Wait a minute. Wait, but no.
Oh,
I find it funny that everybody's saying that Will forced her to marry him when both of them said that because Will got her pregnant, her grandmother made them get married.
That was her people.
But that's the part that just boggles my mind.
Well, this is what I'm gonna say in general terms. In general, based on my personal and professional opinion, women get access to sex and men get access to relationships. And no matter what, that man is the one gonna say we're getting married. I mean, it's just period.
Damn, somebody open that door and let that sink in.
And a woman who no matter how much a man may want her or whatever the case may be, that woman is who giving a green light. That's who, when it comes to sexual things, and that's just the way it was explained to me. That's the way I took that as some facts. And because I had a perfect example. I was at a vendor event with my guy, and he hasn't been to any. Actually, the last event he was able to go to was the one I just talked about at the Cigar Lounge at May 20th, and he is a cigar smoker. So we were at the next event 2 years later, another event 2 years later. And the question is, you know how people get to just having like open discussion. And he brought this to my attention. It made me start thinking about where I was in life and my relationships. But the moment they went around the room asking couples, well, how long y'all been together? And I know our story is quite a story for the last 6 years. So I was waiting. You know how you just waiting to hear what somebody gonna say? Like, I can't wait to get to be our turn.
I can see you right now. I can see you right now just leaning with your head like this, like,
And what you go like? Because again, we're at an event. I'm vending here. It's a nice little venue, and we're having brunch. And because he's a preacher too, and I tell him, I said, I hope you know that I'm a public figure, so my life is talked about sometimes, you know. And he's like, I don't care as long as you're speaking the truth. And at the end of the day, when they went around the room and it got to our turn, this is an example of. He said, whatever she says. That was his exact words, whatever she says. But two things. He knew he wanted to be a smart man and go by what I said. And number two, he still had to give that permission. See, I could sit here and say, this is my man. We in love. We doing all this stuff. But until he says it, men give the key to that relationship. Period. I could sit here and say, we together. We're doing great stuff. But until and it's almost like, that default statement, whatever she says, I've already signed off on it. Of course, I went back to ask to make sure, you know what I'm saying? But no one is forcing you to get married. Even if their grandmother says something, you still have to say, I do. You still have to say that this is my field of study. I ain't sitting in all them rooms or classrooms and studying for nothing. That's what it comes down to. Period. Grandma may have said y'all need to get married because of the baby. Mama might have said, because this is read this book, Getting Good Loving. It's more about the Black culture though. You have a tendency to be like, okay, a Black woman is raised to be like, oh, you got to do it by yourself. Ain't nobody gonna be there. Mm-hmm. But then you have a Black male that could be raised by big mama, sisters, aunties that's sheltered, and they take care of them. Same way happened with my pastor. You're from Jamaica. You're from England. Y'all have two different cultures. You think she gonna be at home waiting on you, and she over here in England thinking she gonna be waited on. Y'all got to figure out what y'all gonna do. That ain't gonna work in one household. You know what I'm saying? So nobody can make you get married. Nobody forced you to get married. You got married, and marriage is 50% choice, 50% what other emotions. I'm not going to say love. 50% choice and 50% what other emotions you got tied in with that person.
Marriage is dropping bombs.
Why are you shaking your head like that?
Over here dropping bombs.
Oh, I'm the gym dropper for a reason. And okay, let's sidebar. I don't want to give his name. I met him late at night. Dang it, I'm gonna go back on my profiles and see, because I seen it. We was already following each other. Because I make a tendency, if somebody's connected to people I think it's, I guess, a reliable source, I will follow them back. What was MJ calling him? It's initials. Rob. I'm gonna think of it in a minute. But anyways, he said, and I'm paraphrasing. He said, I just met you, Miss Brooks, but I just want you to know, if you don't know it or not, you have value. You have worth. And there's a confidence and an essence about you, like you just know that that you that woman. That was his paraphrase. But what I was trying to explain to him, because the subject was, because MJ was in his challenging me mode, and that was what made it even more fun.
It's not like you're talking about a 2-year-old right now. He was challenging me.
That's what he likes to do. Like we have a public challenge going on right now. I don't know why he made that mistake. He publicly challenged me in front of everybody. But I wish I could think of that guy's name. I'm gonna look it up because now it's gonna bother me. But I said, I appreciate your compliments, but he also was on some, and this is the thing that kills me. I know why I'm not married. I know why I'm single. I know my status. You just met me today. Like, you're not somebody that even sees me on here at least 5, 10, 15, 20 times. You just met me. And that's how I feel I'm viewed a lot. Like you'll have opinion, and that's just not me. Everybody's going to form an opinion based on what they've seen, what they're experiencing. And for him, it was like, and the reason why I'm using him as an example is because that's how I felt in most of my relationships too, where how we get on relationships, because I think we was talking about that. We were talking about relationship. How we get so deep down through there? Don't open that chapter for me. That's my study. That's what I know. So I don't want to get too far in a subject if that ain't where we go.
That rabbit hole opened up and we just went down in it.
But that's easy for me because that's my profession. So it's easy for me to go be like, yep.
This is what happens when you go into the lounge. And I just want to say this. Marriage is a business decision. This is a business agreement.
Oh yeah, it's a transactional contract. I was on Mo Live. That was a good live because the subject was prenuptial agreements. And first of all, most people that's talking about prenuptial agreement, you don't even have any assets to protect. Okay, you don't even have I know for me, I got things I need to consider before I sign my name.
Yeah, my whole thing with a prenuptial agreement, like me and my wife, I ain't got shit. What the fuck I need to and then plus she the mother of my child. So here, just take whatever, you know. If I'm like Michael Jordan status or some shit, and some chick just walks into my life after if I'm already at the top, and here she come walking in my life, then I feel like we need to have that conversation. But we both down here at the bottom. What the fuck am I protecting? My Jordan collection in there?
I'm thinking about all the future stuff I can have. Like if we break up, I want that last piece of ham. Bitch, you ain't getting my ham. That's coming with me. That's in the prenup.
I'm pretty sure you don't need a prenup to protect your ham.
Well, and did y'all read the background? Did y'all read the background of Janet Jackson's prenup? Like of all people, Janet Jackson signed on a prenup, but there's always somebody that has more of something. She was, yeah. But the way, and again, I don't read everything. I don't believe everything I read, but the way it broke down to me, I could have the figures backwards and da. All she had to do was stay married 5 years and produce him an heir, and she got $5 million.
All you had to do was rich than a motherfucker.
So.
That's almost like how Jordan prenup. I haven't seen it, but I heard that his wife that he with now, she get $1 million for every year they married.
And again, let's go back to transactional. This is the way I explained it, and this is how I'm 39. My parents will be married 41 years next month. All I've seen is people married. I know I'm anomalous. I wrote down the other day my anomalies and stuff, things that I'm not. This is why you're not like other people, Kimberly. I wrote that down the other day. That doesn't mean I'm better. Just means I'm different. Okay. I'm 39 and I was conceived in wedlock, and I was conceived, but they also had my brother when my mom was 16. So I've got I got the teenage mother. I got where the dad went off to a full baseball scholarship, but promised to come back and marry his high school girlfriend, and he did. That's my example of a man, because every man does not go back and do what he said he was going to do. He did, and they've gone on to do great things. But at the same time, that was my example, and it's not that I'm comparing, because let me tell you, most of the men I'm with ain't nothing like my daddy. Most of them. But that also showed me that it was a man, how to be a man, a husband, and a father. Those are all three different things, because every good father's not a good husband. Every good husband don't make a good father. Every man, that's just not what that equates down to. And I think back to the beginning about transactional. If I know you're my partner, you're my soulmate, you're the one that's going to be with me, I don't need a piece of paper to solidify that. I don't need and if you believe in God and your faith or whatever you got set up, you don't need that. This piece of paper is saying that I'm trying to do life with you. I'm trying to think. You file taxes different. You don't think, and this is what I wrote down to them. I said, they don't care. The government does not care that I was born June 6th. And I put a lot of my information. People are like, why are you so public? Because I realized I don't have a private life. I haven't had a private life, and I don't know how long. I keep it as private as I can. But when it comes down to the government, they don't care that I was born June 6, 1984. They just want to make sure when I was birth record is in between when my parents were married. And that means that this child was conceived. Like, that's what it comes down to, because that's when the paperwork going to come out. This is how I broke down prenups. I had to do it myself with my own assets. I said, okay, this was started here. But if we were married, and that's why I said it's only what you said earlier, you were going to do for your your wife either way. And that's the way most men, not males, not anything else, most men that I talk to on this subject, they don't need a piece of paper to tell them how to take care of what they're taking care of. I don't need you to, I'm still going to come check on, like, if your fence is down, this is an example. If your fence is down and this is where my children play, I'm going to make sure this fence gets back up. That has nothing to do with this transactional. All you decided to do was, we're going to try life together and things going to be tied together. You don't need that. And don't get caught up in, and don't think that the person loves you less just because they made you sign a prenup. That had nothing to do with the love. This is about the transactional agreement and what's going to happen. Because I had to get on my guy about fear of commitment. We all fear commitment. We all fear what's going to happen. We don't know that, but don't go into it. And you're not, and signing a prenup does not mean that I'm wondering if it's going to go wrong. That's not what it's saying. Yeah, it's a protection.
A lot of people don't understand how a prenup works. A prenup, they think
they're not even going to need one. That's what bothers me. There's nothing wrong with opinion. You're not even going to need one. You don't even know anybody with one.
And it's like a prenup. It's not to stop her from taking. It's whatever you fucking agree on. Like Dr. Dre, they say the prenup didn't work because she got alimony. In the prenup, it allowed her to get alimony. You gotta understand how.
But it's an agreement, and that agreement is going to read specific to those parties. And this is what people leave out. Make sure it's fair to all parties.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. First of all, I'll never get married to California. They fucking you if you get married.
Yeah, fuck California. I would never move there.
I honestly think that the government is a hindrance in marriage.
Government's a hindrance in a lot of different things.
In life, period, but especially marriage.
Especially everything.
Shit.
I'm thinking when it comes to, I don't even say government. I would say the Western way of thinking is a hindrance in a lot of things. I mean, you got to think about it. Like I was looking at this one podcast, and they're talking about marriage in the Black household and how before they started, just saying, oh, you can get Section 8 and all this. It was a lot more families together because you had to stick together because you had, you was going through bullshit. Then they started giving out, oh, well, you can get Section 8 and you can get this and you can get that. And it was like a lot of women stuff. And the man can't be in the house. And now you're kicking the man out the house because you want your house. So the government influences.
Because
the government tries to influence. Let's not say influence. They try to influence you. Okay, well, he had a kid. You had a kid with him. He ain't gonna do nothing. Just go ahead and get rid of him. A lot of females, before they even have a chance to let the dude be a father, they be like, "Oh, I'm taking you child support." Like, what? Hold on.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of like that book I said, "Getting Good Loving," and it's a mentality. Like I've already been raised. I'm gonna do this by myself. Man ain't gonna do nothing for you. You gonna have to, And then it makes that independent. I don't need a man mentality. It's all a mentality. When I worked in Fifth Ward at the apartments, and I always use this as an example. See, I can't talk about the government because I get deep into there because I've worked there. I've seen how every part of systems work, the schools, the prisons, the housing. I'm right now managing some apartments. So I'm back in it. And just seeing that Section 8 on the paper gave me just bad energy. But I understand what it's worth because I've also had a client where I don't have anybody, I don't have anything. I got to have something to take care of my children. I understand that part of it. Yeah. But what happens is there's a set of twins that I had as clients. They were 9 years old. They've been in those apartments since they were 9. And you had to be 60 to be on senior food bank program. So that meant they were in those same apartments at 9, at 19, 29, 39, 49, 59, and more than likely 69.
Magic number. Go ahead.
I love that number.
I did it on purpose. Oh. And so what happens, I remember, I'm the one. I am the one. I'm going to borrow Mr. Tracy words. I may not be the third or the two, but I am the one. When I went to Houston Housing Authority and all these other places, I asked questions like, well, how long can a person be on housing? And they give you the look like, we didn't want you to come here and ask those kind of questions. We didn't want you to come here and figure this part out. Forever. They put you in those gates, but you wasn't supposed to stay there.
Yeah, it was originally, it was supposed to be in a time limit. Like this is it was supposed to be temporary or transitional housing, but it became permanent
forever. Because when a person dies, it goes to the next of kin. It just keeps going.
The cycle.
Yeah, and let me make it think about something like I'm to the point where knowledge, I got a lot of it, but some of it I just wish I could turn off because look at the school buses. It's the same school bus they put you on to take you to school. It's the same. It's just a different color. The same one take it to the pen because it's a system. Some of us were gifted and talented and educated enough to sit down and pay attention. Now I was a smart delinquent. I was the one that got done with my work and distracted everybody. I was the one that you ain't finished yet.
You sound like my two boys right now. That's exactly what the fuck they do.
Oh yeah, I was the one with straight A's, talks excessively, distracts others. That was me. That was me. I know how to do this. I've been reading since I was 3. I already know how to do this. I got this part. But that's why I don't like division, but I understand why they had to put gifted and talented where they are and honors where they are. She already finished that. But what happens is that disruptive child that couldn't sit still. I was reading a book the other day. One of my good friends is an HPD officer. He said one of the kids in the juvie, he is in there for pulling his pants down on the last day of school as a prank. Now, number one, it's the last day of school. You're bound to see whatever on the last day of school. I think that's a common. What's wrong with social norms? Last day of school, people may skip. Pranks may happen. I think that's a norm. So if this young man did that, yes, we're not condoning that that's right, but should he be marked as a criminal for the rest of his life?
Yeah, that's a little extreme right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to share. I'm gonna share this book because I'm pretty sure it's in the midst of all my other papers. But Sheldon Thurgood is my birthday twin, and he's an HPD officer. He tells his story about realizing that playing pro ball wasn't his goal, but then he worked in the detention center, and it hurts because you're going to get attached to people. I realize right now I have all these shopping carts. If I outlive these people, I'm going to mourn every last one of my customers. I have over 500 customers that I can think of right now. If I outlive them, I'm going to mourn every last one of them. So he had that emotional attachment to this young man that had got out and got back into the gang violence. And he said, you know what can I do to change? And that's when he decided to be a HPD officer. And when I read that part about the young man, now that's where we don't make an example. You make sure you understand that this is not what we do. We do not pull our pants down in front of everybody. We don't. However, that doesn't mean you have to go to juvie.
I mean, that should be for like repeat offenders. Like at that age, you still fucking growing, and you kind of know what's right, you kind of know what's wrong,
but you don't know the consequences of it either.
If nobody teach you these things as you go along, then how are they supposed to learn? And that's the one thing I feel like a lot of the parents of this generation and then the parents of the generation before that kind of fail because I feel like in our age range, there's a lot of parents that didn't like the way their parents parent them. So they try a different approach, but they don't realize that the way they parents parent them is the reason why they're the person that they is now.
Right. Oh yeah, it's a reflection. I'm seeing it so much, like, and this is just probably my number one advice as a therapist. Go to the source of the first person that made you feel that way. I just did it to myself. Because I've changed. I used to feel emotional abandoned, but now it's just emotional. Like I don't want it. Like I don't want to depend on somebody. If you say you're gonna be there, then be there. Now you got me looking like I'm lonely looking for you when you said you was gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? So it's more of you're deflecting and showing who you really are. Because I get it all the time. I know I'm a bright star. I know I shine, but I'm around a lot of negative people all day long. Like they can't just be who they are without being intimidated by who I am. I'm accepting you for exactly who you are. And instead of bringing your struggles and your challenges, bring your gifts and your talents and let's make that awesome. But that's what it's a mindset thing and hurt people hurt other people. Unfortunately, that's the cycle until you're a good friend and Papa's sister told me this, a person can't give you what they don't have to give. She said, everybody wasn't raised with parents been married 40 years. Everybody wasn't. And I'm from a place called Jasper, Texas, where most people won't ever go. You know when people tell me, I tell them where I'm from, like, oh, I'm not going there. That's my home. You just told me you wouldn't go to my home. You're just thinking about an isolated event. When I can tell you, that's one of my best friends. She's an HPD officer. She's out here trying to make a difference. She hated those men, but she knew hate had to change. I tell Jamie, I'm going to tell you a story every chance I get a chance to talk. because you know how it makes me feel if I tell somebody I'm from Jasper and they, again, you look, a lot of people don't know the story, but I'd rather them read it for themselves than me tell you. And then you already got your mind made up. Go read it for yourself. But everybody got to be from somewhere. And that's the first thought I have. This person just told me they wouldn't go visit me at home. That's what you just told me. Fast forward, if they were to lay me to rest in Jasper, Texas, you mean to tell me you ain't going there?
I'm from Vicksburg, Mississippi. If somebody said they're not going there, I don't blame them because it's nothing.
And it's not a blame. No, it's not a blame.
If you're not a gambler, it's nothing there for you.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it, but it's also based on you've never even been there. You don't even know. Like, I remember taking one of my college friends home with me. She's like, this is nothing like I thought. I was like, because you don't know. And you won't know until you go. That's one of my top training phrases. You won't know until you go. You won't. I can only tell you what it was like for me. I can only tell you. I use that all the time because especially when people want to sell paparazzi, they want it so bad. I'm like, you're going to sign up, but there's a whole lot of other stuff. And you definitely can't. I tell my team all the time, they try to compare it. You can't do it like me. You have to do it. You your own superhero power. You can't do it like me.
Yeah. I mean, like you can take inspiration. Mm-hmm. You can take key components and kind of like work it into your own frame,
right?
Because you're not going to be able to do anything like the next person.
You're not, and that's why they set them like your goals. Stop setting goals that are not yours. That you're not going to reach that because that's not even what's in place for you. Mm-hmm. I'm in a season now where, and it's been hard. I cry like 2 or 3 times a day because I'm telling people they're used to, I'm a Gemini too. They're used to the nurturing me. They're used to, again, I've been trained to help. I'm a helper. I'm a healer. I got answers. I can help you. But what I realized, I've been pouring into vessels that is just pouring out. I want to overflow and flow into vessels that are ready to hold.
Mm-hmm. You goddamn Geminis. My wife is Gemini. Let me tell y'all something. Either you loving or you cold as fuck.
Speaking of that, I'm both of them.
Ain't no in between.
Both of them. All you motherfuckers starting a podcast, stop it. You ain't got shit to say. You can't be like us. Stop it.
Wow, it sounds like a personal attack. Not on me though, but it sounds like a personal attack.
Some of you motherfuckers can't do it. You're untalented.
Oh, let's talk about podcasts for a second. So I'm gonna switch the gear. Because I have a great story and lesson about podcasts. But you're celebrating how long doing a podcast and why is it so important and what made you say what you just said about it? Because a lot of people just think they could do it. You can do all things. Don't get it twisted because it's not about what you can do. It's not that. It's not that you don't have the ability. I just talked about having potential and having possibility and all of that. But if you're just doing it because somebody else doing it, it ain't going to thrive.
Yeah, it's retarded. My thing is like, try to do whatever you want to do. If you feel like this was something you want to try to do it. But the thing is, you got to quickly realize, is this for me or is this me? Mm-hmm. If you got to understand, like I tell a lot of jokes, but I don't think I could be a comedian because I don't know if I could just walk up on the fucking stage and just start. My jokes come in the context of conversations.
Right.
I'm not just a hold the mic and just, make a joke kind of motherfucker. We have a conversation. I can have you laughing in the conversation. Right. I don't know if I can have you laughing on stage.
Right, it's a difference.
And I was good in both. But so this is the thing. So it's over a year now.
Okay.
And most podcasts don't last a year because most people don't have the drive or the dedication. Because you got to realize that I've done this shit sick. I've done this shit where it's been like fucking a downpour. I started outside to run into the car. I've done it. So you got to be prepared to do it. You got to be prepared. If you're going to do it, you got to do it all the way. It's a lot of things that change. I can't address people on social media the way that I used to, the way I be wanting to say some things. I do say some things, but some things I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to go there. So there's a lot of things that you have to do to even build a brand, because that's what this podcast is basically a brand. We don't have the podcast that we do, nobody else is doing. So we don't have a roadmap. We just making this shit up as we go. So that's the thing with that. And there's a lot of people out there who are starting podcasts. And if you're going to start a podcast with somebody, You need to look into that person, into their social media. Look at what they represent. Look at what they said, because everything that they said now represents you. Because you're next to this person. You are the company that you keep, whether you like to admit it or not. Barbers are going to hang around barbers. Mechanics going to hang around mechanics, and hoes will be hoes. So there's nothing like, you are the company that you keep. So if
players gonna play, ballers gonna ball.
Yeah.
Why the fuck is Rican calling me sweat? All right, so and the thing is, like, a lot of people, like I said, they don't have the dedication. They don't want to do. So a lot of podcasts fold within the first 3 to 4 months. I was reading this. I'm like, damn. So if you make it past that, I'm not saying you're good, but you make it past that, you've already beaten like 70, 80% of your competition. Just making it past that. So if you can make it past that, well, we never looked at it like, oh, this month too, oh, this month. What? We haven't even counted episodes. My brother just hit me like, hey, how long we been doing this? I'm like, oh shit, how long have we been doing this? Oh shit, we've been doing this a year. Like,
yeah, and it's good. And I would say, as someone that I'm big on milestones, because it helps you throughout the journey. I've been showing my team this week about tracking goals. Like, it's going to look like a big goal if you're looking at it as a big goal. But when you're biting it down a little by little, like right now, I'm trying to build up my TikTok following little by little and organically. But I don't look at it like that, because it's so funny. They can't wait for me to go live. And I'm like, this is my break from going live. I just did 2 or 3 shows. And I fell into a situation where there was, and it's funny about where you find people. I call I'm gonna break down the networks. So like Facebook, to me, that is more of, those networks. Those are my college people. Those are people I went to work with. Those are people that gave birth to me. Those are your networks. Instagram, that's my interestgram. I've always said that I have more. I know what you're there for. I know what it is. The interest is there, and then you're not gonna stay on anything you're not interested in. You're just not. And what I like about TikTok is it's that word you said earlier, effortlessly. See, I put that on my vision board 2 years ago. I wanted things to move effortlessly, because I feel like one of the best things for me is when the right people get together at the right time for the right things, because that's not always the case. So when I met these 3 ladies, it was through Facebook group. So that meant we were already networked. We were already grouped together. So you have a common interest, and that's a good start. What happens with me, because back to an earlier question, is how do you know who to network with? Because I don't know if I fully answered that, but maybe this will shed a little more light. See, I'm the one, I know I have to work with different people to get different results. Everybody's not going to be like me per se, but things need to be like-minded to a certain degree. I'm over here arguing with people about content. And like you said, look at what they post. Y'all don't even post daily content. So you don't even speak the language that I speak. I got 3,000 posts. You got 10.
Or they steal other people's content.
Yeah, you're just sharing. See, me, let me say, even in my business, I'm the lady that's copied in my business, and paparazzi, even my leaders. Kimberly, I'm gonna start copying, because people take what I write and they copy and paste it because we were given scripts, but I don't use those. But the difference is, you're gonna read what I said, but when you talk to me, I'm gonna sound like the person that you're reading. I don't like share content. I rather create my own. I rather take a picture sitting right here in this chair, and that's what I look like today, versus other options. So I think that for me, and what I see on the outside looking in, don't just look at something that someone else is doing and think you're just going to pick it up and take it. A lot of people don't like this part, the editing. It's work. It takes work. People look at the outside product and think, oh, that's great, I can do that. But you don't know what took behind the scenes to get all that done. And like you said, some days you're not sick, you're not feeling well. I have come on this camera literally in the middle of a whole crisis, but knew I had to get it together, because if I didn't come on here, then I'm not going to be productive. Then I'm going to be really crying. So you've said a lot of great things that most people, and again, it's not saying you can't do it. Don't do it just because someone else is doing it, and make sure that it's in line. That's my thing right now. I'm making sure everything I do is in line with what I'm trying to do. Build relationships, confidence, and financial freedom, period. If it's not in line with those values, I shouldn't be doing it anyway, because it's not going to get me closer to what I'm trying to get to. And I pick and choose now, which it's still hard. I'll be honest. It's still hard, because there's a lot of people that BS. And I told my parents the last time they were here, you don't know you're wasting your time, effort, energy, money until you do. until you do, because you would not have been depositing it. You would not have been putting it out, especially as you get older. You're like, come on now. That's kind of where I'm at. Like, look, now I have seen quite a bit of things. I should know a little something about something. How are people still peopling around me? How are people still, like, people get close to me and they're like they're really there, and you really can't get rid of nobody sometimes. And so my answer to that is I'm still learning on who to network with and because I don't know the difference, because I don't judge. I don't judge by what someone else told me. But the only thing, like, I've been trying to teach my team about relationships, like, some people, and this goes out to anybody that's on social media, be careful on these relationships that you're building. How does it make you feel? Is it feeling like something you want to be a part of? Because a lot of people say it's not real. Just because I've never seen LH and Kimbro in person, I don't feel like I know them any less than somebody that does. I feel like it's just a different presentation of it. I don't think it ain't real. If something is in your life and it's affecting your life, then it is real. But for me, I'm different. If I got an opportunity, we just happen to be all over the country. If it's nothing to get on a plane and be in the same city, and I'm the type, if you're near Houston, I done drove north to get the Cigar Love Affair. I done drove west and south to go meet up with. To me, that shouldn't be an issue if that's what you're trying to do. Again, it's cultivate that relationship. And that's what's missing sometimes is I realize some of my team members, you don't know that's not a real person you're talking to, or you don't know if that's not genuine what you're trying to get to. That person don't even post. Y'all don't even have anything to talk about. Y'all can't even compare notes. So that's kind of how I decide too. Like right now, I'm dividing my team up with those that got 100 PV. I got 600 PV. So, but if they require you to have it at executive director where I am, why would you want to be less than that? If they require it on the upper level and I'm pushing, and I'm not a person that likes to separate, but you got to know where you at with things. There's levels to this. That's one of my favorite songs. It's levels to this. It's very much levels, but you got to respect the level. If you're not putting that work, that same work ethic that someone else has put in, you're not going to reap those benefits. And even those that slack, you're going to reap the benefits of the doers, but not as much until you start stepping up like a boss, like a real boss. Like, that word drains me. Some people say it, but you don't know what it's like to live it. When I walk into this gym shop, I be looking around like, who gonna do this? Who gonna do that? You entrepreneur, you. There's nobody else in here. There's nobody to delegate things to. So
I hate that shit, dude, because it's like people wear that word like it's a fucking costume, like it's fucking Halloween all year fucking round. Like, come on, bro. If you a boss, you don't have to say that shit.
You don't.
Recognize that shit. People recognize that shit.
Dame say, you ain't a boss unless you put up your own money. If somebody give you your shit, you a supervisor. You're not a boss.
I put my last check in my dresser for a reason. And watching how money move. Because I remember when Young Dolph said, I watch how you move about money. And it's easy to say that because you probably got some money in your account now, rest his soul, but you had money in your account when you said that. I watch how you move about money because you may do anything for some money. And when I was the COVID site director in Houston, I was like, I got my first check on January 4th. Then they doubled my salary January 18th. So I had my January 18th check, but in my mind, and then he was ready to give me another $1,000 a week. You know what? I'm not saying I ain't worth six figures. That's not what I'm saying. But I know on my journey what I went through to try to get to that a month. So now when money, my mom always says she's a banker. The money got to move. The money got to circulate. And I saw a lot of money get government money. It's also easy when it ain't your money. You just running through it, writing those checks. But I told myself, I don't want to write nobody else write me another check. I don't want another one of these. I want it coming from. Paparazzi cuts me a check, but I also cut my own checks. I pay my own self. Kimberly, you ain't made enough to pay yourself this time. You got to pay all these bills, And it's one of those journeys. I told my dad this morning, I said, I'm tired of being here. It feel like we get there, but one thing they always tell me, they're very financially sound. You had the money when you needed the money. But I don't care. That still don't feel good I said, I feel like I'm always going to be at a deficit and catching up. And you have the money when you're supposed to have it. And that's why money is a tool. Cigar Chef Mike is a great customer for a lot of different reasons. when he said to me, because a lot of people be so quick to get the sale. You so quick to seal the deal. He said, can I call you? I was like, yeah, you can call me. I mean, I had just got off Instagram. So obviously the best way to call me is to call me right on Instagram until you get my number. And when he said to me was, people be so quick to get your money and seal the deal on the sale. What if I got more questions? And that's the best thing a business owner want is someone to have questions about what they do. Because if you're asking questions, you're interested. And when you find out more, you get more interested. That's why I'm really, like my shows are kind of crazy right now. The Gemini's coming out at me. Sometimes I'll be like, I will watch my replay. Kimberly, you should have cut that off a long time ago. They wasn't ready for it. But I'm at the point now where I'm talking to y'all. This is not a recording. Y'all can talk back to me. You talk back to the movie. You tell that white girl don't fall down there in the horror movie, but you won't talk to me. And I'm a live person. Don't go in there. You over here talking to the TV and movies, but you won't talk to me and engage. And if you're not talking to me, you're more than likely, that doesn't say a person won't shop with you, but you get more intrigued. Like, oh, is that a Purple Heart? Wait a minute, did you got that in another color? If you start talking about it, we may have a chance of getting somewhere. But if you're not discussing anything, I said, y'all not helping back to content. I realize a lot of people putting out content and I put my hand up to God. I'm to the point now where I'm going to show up, but I don't believe none of these numbers anymore because it doesn't really, the numbers mean something, but then they don't. I need the person that's linked to that number to contact me because I've had other people, and I'm definitely not going to call names on this one, but respect the business. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, this is what I do for a living. This is how I pay the bills. It's fun. I love it, but it still is a business. So if you take time, don't BS a BSer. Don't tell me you registered on my site because I'm gonna get a notification. You either are a customer or you ain't. Mm-hmm. Is you ain't. Mm-hmm. And there's no reason to BS like that. I don't understand that. Like, to me, this is a cool enough community. I'm still not understanding why people fake it for fun. I don't understand that.
I mean, that's.
I mean,
why? You don't have to.
Well, no, a lot of them don't even understand that is it's not the way to go about things. No, I guess nobody told them, or a lot of people don't correct them, or whatever the case.
Yeah, that's one thing. If you don't get corrected, but another thing is they aren't who they present themselves to be.
They the representative.
They try
watch out for the representative.
Yeah, they're trying to be bigger than what they are. They're not happy at the level that they are at. And what they don't understand is people can see through that bullshit. Can't nobody else be you. You can only be you. It's only one you. Now, when you go out there and you put on this mask, you become a character. That's when people be like, oh, they're fake. I've said things to my own detriment because that's who I am. I'm going to say what I feel. I personally don't give a fuck about your feelings, but with that being said, sometimes this stuff need to be said and need to be addressed because people, like I said, like Jim said, people will sit there and they will let a person act out. They look like a toddler or something throwing shit in a grocery store and they just stop it.
Adult tantrums. It's adult tantrums, and I think that things need to be addressed because I've had it. Like I said, I'm having a lot of emotional days because it's like I've allowed this person. A person can't do what you don't allow. A person can't drive you crazy if you don't give them the keys. And for me, I just didn't want to use the energy of telling adults what to do. I shouldn't have to tell you to do this. I shouldn't have to tell you to do that. Like I shouldn't have to, but it's to the point now where I guess so, because if I don't do anything, then I'm saying that that's okay. I'm condoning it. No, I'm not okay with this. Totally not okay with this. And what I've seen now is people have a platform now. They have a stage, and whatever those insecurities or whatever, attention. If I hear another conversation about attention seeking, think about it. If someone is lacking an attention, especially there's a guy I've come to enjoy. He's a Jamaican that sings on TikTok. And basically, this is what it comes down to. It's almost like a strip club. You come here, he's going to sing to you, make you feel good. Even one lady was on there. My husband loves King. He's our jumper cables. You know, once you understand a role and what something plays, you're good on that. But somebody may think, oh, he's singing to me. That's about me. Then you done pulled up on this man at the gas station. They asked me that. It's just amazing how you could be on one live and then that same theme carries over. I was listening to him talking about that, and all of a sudden anybody ever pulled up on you? I said, pulled up on me for what? We gotta be specific. What kind of pull up? Because I'm the type of pull up too. It just depends on what it is. I done pulled up for a couple things, and but you understand that most people are coming here for three things: a distraction, to be entertained, or educated. And that's kind of why I feel like my success comes from, because I want to make sure, of course, I'm giving you something that you want, make myself visible, likable, and memorable every time. Because I told one of my team members, you don't wear your jewelry. You don't wear your jewelry. How can you want sales? You don't wear your jewelry. And she said, I didn't notice. I said, nobody's going to notice you. I mean, that's it. I mean, I'm to the point where, see, the old, not necessarily the old me, but the other me would have took time to say, it's important for you to wear your jewelry because people see you. And no, if you don't notice you ain't putting no jewelry on, ain't nobody going to notice you, period. And you can't wonder why you don't have sales. This just doesn't. I'm over that period. Like, there's a question that I was asked in a business turn up. What do you want more of? Oh, my right hand itching. That mean, the left hand mean you're losing money. What is it that you want more of and less of? And if you don't want less of something, what can you let go of? And I want more quality communication, because people don't read, and people don't read. They don't read, and they get upset that it didn't turn out the way they thought. Why I didn't get this? Why I didn't get that? And why? Because it said it only lasted to 12 noon. That's why. And then you're jealous of the next person because they got it. Then we got all kind of tension on the team. Like, I feel like I have a room full of women that didn't understand what they signed up for, and now have to separate everybody. This ain't how this gonna work. This is not how it's going.
Let me let y'all know.
And less repeated episodes. I can let go of anything. I don't attach to anything that God didn't attach me to. But them repeated episodes, because everybody know. Have you ever had a repeated episode with somebody where you feel like you had that same conversation or that same incident and you're still there?
Yeah.
I'm done with that, because I don't understand those. I don't understand repeated episodes. Like I said it earlier. I said why we watch reruns of Fresh Prince, why we watch reruns of Martin, because it was a good show. These shits ain't good.
Yeah.
Not at all.
If I got to keep doing it, then I got to go ahead and get rid of you.
Yeah.
With that being said, if you pull up on me, I need you to realize I'm from the west side of Chicago. Let me know. I saw your podcast. Let me know that, because if you do not let me know that, I'm taking it as a threat.
Right. We need to be specific around here.
Let me know, or it's going to be taken as a threat, and I neutralize threats. So let's get out of the way.
Exactly.
I think I've had that, though. I've had that and I just cut it off. I just had to cut those people off. I was like, we haven't the same, and I'm not gonna mention no names, but people have blown up on a person for the same thing. It's like, bro, we having the same conversation. You can't keep saying, "Oh, my bad. No. You know what? It's my bad, because I keep fucking around with you, knowing that this is what you gonna do. So it's my bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and terminate this whole situation right now.
When they say you fool, you can't be fooled again. You can't be fooled again.
Yeah, I don't get why do people prefer to constantly deal with a person that you got to constantly keep correcting on the same issues. That's a waste of energy to me. Once I start feeling like I'm wasting my energy, I am done.
And that's a great way to be done. And I'll say, for me, honestly, it's a struggle for me, because I realize how long I don't even as a therapist and counselor and all this, I don't even want to get to the point of identifying. I just know it ain't healthy. Put it like that. It ain't healthy, because I'm on an energy budget now. I focus on what I'm thankful for, what I'm looking forward to, and what I got to do today. And when you focus on those things, that's pretty much it. You don't have time, effort, or energy for all of that. But what I'm in a cycle of is the codependency and what people depend on me for. Right now, my grandmother's down here in Memorial Hermann for a stroke, and that makes me the primary contact down here. And but I've also excommunicated from my family because you don't communicate. Why would I communicate with people that don't communicate with me? And I had to realize when my dad said, well, Kimberly, they don't have to respond. Says who? What if they says who? So now he said, now I see what Kimberly means. I see why she's fed up. Well, I'm glad that y'all got the late show. I've been here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to excommunicate, but it's also tough because I still know I tried that for a while. Still be true to who you are. I still feel it's right that my family know what's going on with my grandmother. But no, we're not doing that. It's okay. I'm not going to be the sacrificial lamb anymore. I'm not going to just go out like, hey y'all, how y'all doing? Just letting y'all know what's going on, and then you don't talk to me for a day. No, we're not doing that. I can put that positive energy, like that's how I do all day long. I speak to my team and my customers all day long. I gave away an engagement award. Shout out to Whitney. Whitney spoke every day of the week. But imagine speaking to people for 7 days a week and only 4 people respond. And I have a team of over 100 people. I don't know where they all at and if they all in there, but I know what my numbers say. Then I have to turn around again, but what can I expect? My own cousins don't speak back. But see, that's why I'm saying it ain't me. It's the priority of that you find this is important. But what you expect is someone else to give you the information. Oh, my mama updating me. But that ain't your mama responsibility. Exactly. And I feel like the same way with entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is that ultimate accountability partner. Like you can't look around for nobody else. And when it comes to social media and technology, like I have a friend, call her friend loosely, because she's the type of friend, she's just not a good customer. She's not a good customer to the point where, well, do what you got to do to make your goals. Most friends I know want me to make my goals. And you're a friend that just said, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And that's that kind of redirecting that energy. Like, how do I get away from that? Like, and my coach said, it has to be something about the energy that you're putting out. Thinks people, they can do that. Because they know I don't care. Most people know my care level. It goes deep and then it disappears. You become irrelevant real quick. Yeah. Irrelevance real quick, and that's what people fight for. That's what all this is about. People want to be relevant. They want their video at the top. Because when you're not relevant, again, make yourself visible, likable, and memorable. If you're not doing that, I try my best. I have things that I say. There's things that consistently are going to happen. I've made in my mind, if someone's around me, I want to make sure they know what I represent and what I'm about. And that's the only thing you really can. But if you're too busy, and that's a downfall of social media, you're looking at what everybody else is doing, but you, like you said, use it as a guide, use it as inspiration. I love when they tell me I can't do something. I didn't want to do it that way anyway. Rules were not made for me anyway. I didn't want to do any of those things anyway. So it's fine. And don't come over in my lane because I don't even know where it's going. You can come over here if you want to. But it gets bumpy in this lane. It gets, and what's tough about my lane is I got people really trying to run me off the road or like to climb to the top. I explain to my team because I say, you have to understand you're attached to me. You may become a target. You may involuntarily become somebody else don't like just because you link to me. So that's rise to the top. We may have people at the top throwing rocks. Literally, one of my team members just signed somebody. Do you know my estranged leader reached out to my team? We can't congratulate the team growth together. But why are you talking to somebody? But that's the same team member that try to recruit my own people. See, that's the type of stuff and behavior that has to end because it ain't right. That's not nurturing the relationships.
Exactly. And you're not growing that way neither.
No. You don't grow by going to take. You're supposed to grow by growing others. Because think about a downline. Because I really started thinking about it now as I help my dad manage these apartments when it comes to, this my right hand itching. I need this money. But when I found out about the left hand, I be making sure my left hand ain't itching at all. But when it comes
to that though. I'm gonna need 5% of that though.
Man, whatever it is, it's coming. But let me tell you how it works for me. I was on the card table last night gambling. My gamble is up and down. Like I'm the type, kind of like a pinball machine. It's all lit up points. We up to 78,000 points, and then the ball go through the lever. You didn't even get a chance. That's my life. My life is a constant pinball machine. Like, oh yeah, girl, get them 20,000 points, lighten up over here, and then you try to hit that ball, and the lever just Yeah, or the ball go behind the level on you. That's my life or on a roller coaster. This is how I used to describe my life. It ain't got a name. They don't even know how I used to tell people you rolled Grease Lightning or you rolled Dungeon Drop, you rolled all these. This one ain't even got a name. I'm just on here. They don't even check to see if I'm strapped in. Then we just take off. Then the people looking at me like, you all right? Barely.
That's before it took off.
Wouldn't even check to see if I was strapped in good, but I'm here for it. Like, I thank God every day. Again, I'm celebrating. Wait a minute. It got dark in here. I'm trying to figure out where it turned off. it got dark in here. I'm like, I'm not even, maybe the TV went into sleep mode, but this is a celebration of life. Like I told you, I had my file mixer 10 years ago. I was dead on a deathbed 10 years ago. And then, I tell people, you have to remember where you are and what you're trying to do. God didn't save my life to just be out here doing anything. I don't waste time. And I don't need life changing. I didn't need a pandemic. I was somebody that was in the COVID site. I was at the COVID site testing and I was there when they was dying, just striking people off the list. I have seen it. I didn't need to see that to appreciate life. Like, I don't need, how to say life is short. I don't need no reminder. I value my life. That's why I'm not out here wasting people's time, effort, and energy as most people do. It's okay to kick back, Cadillac, do all of that, but legitimately wasting someone's time, effort, and energy, or not presenting yourself for who you are, even if it is. And I feel like people downgrade, well, it's just social media. Ain't no just about life. Ain't no just. If you are on here saying things to people or you're making an influence, and then it matters, and you need to be a little more mindful. And I say that to myself too, because I have to realize I don't know who's listening to me. I don't know who may take what I say, but I also make sure I keep it real, but I also make sure I remind people that I care, because no one cares what you know until they know you care, period.
Exactly.
So I try not to. So I'm trying to do look, now we're not doing these repeated episodes anymore. I need more quality communication. Like, that's me all day long. Most people talk to me, they know what it is. Relationships, confident. Like, I'm stuck on those values, because that's how you don't lose sight. That's how I govern my day. I ain't doing that. That ain't got nothing to do with making relationships better. I ain't doing that today. That's going to bring somebody down. I'm not doing that today. That's going to make me broke. I'm not doing that today. I'm not doing that today. None of that. And it causes you to be the outsider. It causes you to be the one that's talked about. Like I told my cousin today, I said, let them keep talking about me. That makes me relevant. But let them know how to find me. The next time they want to talk about me, that's the crazy part. Like, I've thought about this all day long. What part of being who you are? You're talking to someone that has nothing to do with growth. And that's what anything that we're doing. We all got to look at our organization and be like, what's there? What's helping it, what's not helping it, and every support ain't good support. I just removed my top consultant. I don't care how much credit card you got. I don't care how much jewelry you buy. You don't help me. And guess what? Both of those people I talked about on September 16th, they sat right on my left and my right. They're gonna try to get as close. And I'm using these stories as examples of wherever you are in business and in your life. Make sure you check your circle, who's around you, but you never can really get, like, again, just because I deleted her and blocked her, she's still there. You can only do, and that's another thing. Some people are hard on, like me. People think I don't have a big cutoff game, because people are so quick to say, oh, my cutoff game's strong. But ask yourself, why are you always in situations that have to cut people off? Me, I'd rather fight it out. I'm the person, I done took a black eye for telling the truth. I don't mind going there. Oh yeah, I'm a fighter. I will. Don't let this jury fool you. You're not just gonna disrespect me, or like my auntie said, she makes straight A's, but you ain't gonna whip her ass. It ain't. That's what my auntie said about me. It ain't. Don't get that misconstrued. Oh, there go Whitney. Oh, why everybody messaging me? I told everybody what I was doing. Why people do that? They know you're doing something. But just in case, whenever you get done, I'm still here. Check my messages. Girl, I know you busy. Oh, this is my favorite. You busy? You busy? You busy?
Yeah.
Whether I say yes or no to that question.
It don't matter. It don't matter. You about to come with whatever you got. So just, That's a good question. I'm gonna think of because that the question you open with is kind of where I'm at. How do you decide? Because we all want to do better and achieve. Because that's why I named my team Next Level Steppers. No matter where you are in your life, I would hope you want to get to the next level. Yes, I want new team members, but you want quality over quantity. Again, it was. And you know, if you do something, something else is gonna happen. I knew the moment I removed my top consultant. You can't make a move and don't think nothing else gonna happen. You can't get bold and put your foot down and don't think nothing gonna happen when you start stomping. So that's why I cry a lot during the day. I'm like, man, that was tough, but all right, they'll be all right. I'll be all right. It's just a very much reteaching people. I think I put that on my Instagram. I'm bossing up so much. I'm having to reteach people. You got to relearn me. I'm in a whole nother level of things right now. But that doesn't mean, a lot of people take that as, well, maybe I'm not enough, or maybe no. That's what I got going on. That shouldn't affect you to the point where you doubt what you got going on. Mm-hmm. But people getting their insecurities strong.
Yes, they do.
Very strong.
All right, so we gonna what we at 115. All right, so we're gonna wind this down. So,
sure.
In closing, first of all, let the people know where they can reach you at.
All right. Well, you can find me on. Let's start at Facebook. I'm gonna go in order. Facebook. Shine Bright Gems. That's 2 Z's. Think of paparazzi when you do that. Shine Bright Gems. GEMZZ. Same platform on Instagram, and I love my TikTok handle, Your Favorite Jewelry Lady. It has been very beneficial because they don't have to wonder who I am.
Exactly.
I kid you not, I came on TikTok. That lady may have saw me on one of the live, and the next time she placed an order for everybody on her panel from my website. And not the way she did it. The way she did it was even more beneficial. She pulled up her phone. She showed her how to put the number in. Like, she did a whole paparazzi tutorial. If you don't know how to place an order on my website, it's just because you didn't want to. So that not only did I think she had like 7 people in her box. And so she placed an order and she let them pick it. Like, she showed every piece on the website and let them pick what they wanted. I said, and see, that goes further. It wasn't even about the sale. It was the fact of her taking the time to do that, and not just because she could have went and just bought a bunch of jewelry for her. She made sure everybody there got it. That's what I want to be a part of, where you're not having to wonder if it's genuine, or you have to wonder if that person's legit. So Shine Bright Gems, Facebook, Instagram. And then the Miss Brooks, you'll see that on Instagram, MSKE Brooks. Try to make sure if I miss anything. Shine Bright Gems. My website is Shine Bright Gems. If you remember Shine Bright Gems, you can find me. I'm Googleable. You can find me.
That's the word, people. That's the word.
Yes, it is. I'm Googleable.
Yeah, check it out. Give it a Google.
Mm-hmm.
It has been
definitely
always.
Definitely gonna have you back, because we got some good topics that we got to discuss with you.
Oh yeah, I'm here for it. This is just the start of many. The main thing is I wanted to make sure people understood my link to the cigar community, because I get it all the time when I'm on. Usually, if I'm hanging out with the cigar community, I'm like, "Hey y'all, I'm not finna show jewelry," because I mean that's just a courtesy to let people know they're not finna see jewelry. And then on the flip side is to let people know, like, wait a minute, everybody got cigar in their name. It's just people want to know, and you want people to ask questions about what you're doing. You want people to be intrigued and want to know how, what, why, because you don't. I remember one time I was hanging out with King, Salvador, and somebody else, and they were having a good smoke session. I was over here putting jewelry in little sheer bags. I said, if somebody was to come on here, they would have an earthly idea what was going on. It's totally different vibes, but it doesn't matter. Like and I love how it's not a requirement. You may never smoke a cigar. You may never, but you're going to learn some things. You're going to be around some good energy. Because one thing I know about it, most of the time, yeah, you can have a good smoke by yourself. But if you're going to actually be around somebody, you just don't want to be around nobody that ain't got no good conversation, ain't got no good energy, because it's going to be a long, smooth smoke. So who wants to just be sitting around somebody that ain't got no good conversation? And even if it's silence, even if y'all don't talk much, the vibe is right.
Yeah. I mean, and for those who don't know, when we doing the smoking cigars and basically how we structured this show right here, it's not really about smoking cigars, but we smoke cigars. It's really about the conversation. Mm-hmm. You don't have to smoke a cigar to be a part of this conversation. You just got to have some input on the conversation.
True.
Whether you want to just sit here and listen to, like, maybe there's some topics that you might not know about, but me and LH probably know about it. We have a conversation. You just want to kind of get some insight on the topic we're talking about or whatever. It's same thing. You might know a topic that we don't know, but we want to hear what you got to say about that topic. Right. It's all about the conversation. This thing just brings us together to have this conversation. You don't have to smoke it. I mean, it's a plus if you do, but you don't smoke it.
And look at the parallel. You don't have to buy any jewelry, except if you don't know what Gil, he might throw a brick at you. You don't have to get the jewelry. But if you, like I try to tell my customers, just because I may never see your selfies or I never seen you in your jewelry, doesn't mean I don't appreciate you as a customer. Just know this lady that sends me her pictures all the time, I have a different relationship with her. That's it. And it's not a requirement. This is just a vessel. Again, if I'm at a vendor event and they see something, I already got their attention by the jewelry. That's just a vessel to bring the person in. And I always love that people can find a common denominator. I just wish that this is my wish for the social media communities is because there's, of course, we all know it's not always positive, but to me, don't blame it on social media because that person was acting like that earlier today too. It's just a virtual representation of it. And what I want to get more to if that one thing that can bring us together, why it takes so quick to tear it apart. And to me, if it's that quick, how bonded was it? How real was it if it only took that? Because I'm a ride or die type person. I like to see things through the end because if we get to the other side of it, then we got something new. But I mean, when it comes to fight or flight, I ain't flew nowhere. I've never flew away because I feel like if I go through this door, I can get something. But at the same time, I'm also peeking these doors out a little bit more. I'm trying to peek behind door number one. Wait a minute, what you got going on before I even peek this? Because it has been like that. Like, you know how a door looked tempting? Like, let me see. Oh, that's why your door closed. That's why nobody in here.
That's why the locks are there. Yeah, absolutely.
But all in all, I know I've enjoyed. Again, I want to give a shout out to Baron Murphy with Select Draw. And I just want to, because you always have to give thanks for where it starts. If he not have invited me to, that's why networking is important. If he had not invited me to that vendor event, I would not have grown to go to other cigar lounges and go to other events and things like that. There's one guy going to send me to all of his cigar events. I can't make them all, but he going to send me the invite to them. So it's a thankful for being invited, thankful for even this opportunity. I love communication and conversation because you learn more about yourself through your interaction with other people. You know who you are, but it becomes a little more solid. You know what I'm saying? It's a little more solid.
Yeah, definitely.
We're gonna definitely got to do a part two.
For sure.
But we're going to get up out of here, everybody. As always, I'm your local hero, reminding you to blow your smoke like a goddamn gentleman and gentlewoman. We out.
This is...